Nader Hashemi is the director of the Center of Middle East Studies at the University of Denver. He joins me now from Colorado. The Pentagon says Iran's claims of the U.S. attempting to seize an oil tanker are false. Who are we to believe, and what message is Iran sending here?
Well, I think this looks like another public relations stunt on behalf of the Islamic Republic of Iran. If you look closely at the story that the Iranian media has put out on behalf of the Islamic Republican Guard Corps, it doesn't really stand up to scrutiny. The timing of this, I think, is quite revealing. Um, this is the anniversary. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the seizure of the American embassy in Tehran, which is a day that hardliners in Iran try to whip up anti-American sentiment. But also, the story that we began this segment with, I think, is also very important in terms of shedding light on this incident. Iran just announced today, just a few hours ago, that it's returning to the nuclear talks. There are elements within Iran, particularly the Revolutionary Guard Corps, that oppose a return to the talks. So I suspect this staged incident could be pressure that the that the Revolutionary Guard Corps are trying to put on the Iranian government to prevent a return to those nuclear negotiations in Vienna.
Yeah, and I did want to ask about that. Where do things stand with those talks, which are due to take place in a couple weeks' time, especially in light of this latest announcement?
Yeah, well, things are very precarious. I think your reporter, who was part of the introduction to this segment, had a good summary of what's going on. Most of the issues have been negotiated, but the remaining issues are very difficult to, bridge the differences. Iran fundamentally, and I think rightly in this case, argues that it wants guarantees from the United States that if it signs back onto the nuclear agreement, the United States won't pull out in the future. Recall that Iran fulfilled its terms of the agreement after 2015, but then Donald Trump pulled out of the agreement. Iran saw no benefit from signing on to the agreement, so the Iranians want guarantees from the Biden administration that history won't repeat itself, and those are guarantees that the Biden administration is very reluctant to give. It points out that it can't bind the hands of a future American government. And if you're following the news from the United States today, the Trump Republican Party is very strong. They just won several state governor races, and so there's a very strong likelihood that Donald Trump or someone like him could be back in the White House in 2014, tearing up any agreement that Iran might sign. So I think these are some of the sticking points.
All right, we'll leave it there. Nader Hashemi joining us from Denver. Thank you.